Good morning, EPG. I am up at Java for a little coffee with Kurz. It's been a while since I did one of these and wanted to provide an update on some things happening here at EPG. So my goal today is to give you a brief glimpse at some things that are going on, but to do it in less than 5 minutes. So here we go. I'm going to talk a little bit about some COVID stuff, talk a little bit about the junior high building project, and like I said, try to wrap up in 5 minutes. The big thing is to say that I'm going to try to put out more of these to share what's going on specifically with the upcoming building referendum, but I'm going to try to do that in 5 minute segments, briefly, routinely, so you can know what's happening and we can communicate well from there. So first, regarding COVID stuff, we as a district are committed to be in person with as many students as possible, as much as possible. And so we're going to wear masks, we're going to wash our hands and spread out. Those things have been working. And that's the big thing that I want to say is, statewide, we've not seen much spread at school. Only 16 schools in the entire state have had outbreaks. That means 5 or more cases that are connected. In central Illinois, there have been 0 schools that have had outbreaks of the coronavirus because we're doing those things we're supposed to. This week, every day it's been a little bit different, but roughly each day we've had 10 people, so students and staff combined, in isolation. That means they've tested positive. And we've had about 50 in quarantine. The key point I want to make there is not a single one of those isolations or quarantines came from contact at school. And so we know that things are happening, that people are testing positive, that people are exposed and getting quarantined. Sometimes the exposure happens at school, but we're working really hard to do our part. And what we're finding is that it's safe to be at school and we can make this work. And we also know that it's good for our kids to have in-person instruction. So along the lines of the junior high building project, we put out some pictures of 1-story building plan and got in some estimates, and it turns out those estimates were a little high. We're going to have to scale back the project a little bit. So we went back to the drawing board. One of the biggest challenges is that as we looked at the land, it falls off a little to the south and a little to the west. And as the building's size, it became a little bit challenging because as we get to the south and the west, the topsoil is also a lot deeper. And so when you consider that amount of black soil, there are 2 things that we can do that really help us reduce the cost of the building. And so because there's going to be quite a bit of buildup, there is now a savings to making it a 2-story building. And so we've come up with some plans that do that. We've also moved the school to the east, and that means we will be building in that parking lot. It won't interrupt school during the day, but we are moving it to the east. And in doing so, we'll save a lot of money in terms of build-up and foundation work. And so we've put those out. Those numbers have come back, and we do have those estimates on target. We also have a couple alternate bids. I'm going to talk a lot more about the details of those in some of my future videos, and so more to come next week. So if you have questions or topics that you'd like for me to touch base on in future videos, please give those to me. You can go to the website at unileven.com, the superintendent page, and there will be a link to provide questions or topics. Also, I put out a weekly update that lets you know things are going on throughout the district. If you're not on that and you want to be, then you can also go to unileven.org, superintendent page, and there will be a place you can sign up for that. This year has been challenging, but I am so proud of our staff and our community because together we're doing this thing well. And the opportunities our kids have relative to most of the kids in the state of Illinois are so much better because of the work our community and our staff has done to allow for in-person learning. So thanks for the quick update. There'll be more to come.